overconfidence, contracts, hidden clauses, and the ability to overcome the troubles you face in your life. That is what this episode of Assassination Classroom is about. And as always, it has very, very deep meaning when it comes to certain episodes. This episode is no different. It has these little hidden meanings scattered throughout this entire episode, especially with how it depicts contracts, hidden clauses, hidden messages in contracts, and you should never dive into a contract and be overconfident, or you should always read the contract and make sure you know what you're agreeing to. That is what you can pull out of this episode of Assassination Classroom. To be real here, what this episode really wants to show us as a viewer, besides the entertainment value of Assassination Classroom and getting to see how our students are going to be going up against the A class to be the top students, let's just look at the real meaning behind this episode. The meaning behind this episode shows that you should never be too overconfident. And that's clearly what slightly both sides are doing in this episode. Also, there's always going to be someone that is going to try to put some form of hidden meaning into contracts. That's how politics work. When politics, write contracts and different things they want to do when it comes to bills and different things in society for the government, there's usually something very hidden in the lines, between the lines. And you have to make sure you read that properly or you're going to be fucked over. And that's what we get to see in this. For instance, how the principal's son is depicted in this episode. How he puts this hidden rule, like he writes on this tired-ass contract, and the way he manipulates that, he can get these certain things from E-Class to find out different secrets they can't lie and stuff like that. And it just goes to show you how contracts are done or how politics really work when it comes to writing bills. And I like the way this was shown in this episode. Like, it's another very serious take on Assassination Classroom that really goes to show you how real-life society is. And that is one thing you should always do. Like, you should never be overconfident when you're signing to an agreement. That's what this also means. Like, when you're, let's say making a very important bet or a deal with someone, like a big company or something very important and vital as this, like A-Class and E-Class, to us, as the viewer, it's a form of entertainment to watch this episode, which is understandable. But if you look in between the lines, you will notice that you should never try to make a deal unless you understand why you're making this deal. Don't ever make the deal if you don't understand the repercussions if you do supposedly end up on the bad side of the deal. And it seems like A-Class is getting overconfident, along with E-Class getting overconfident in certain areas as well. And this was depicted perfectly when it came to this episode, because majority of watchers, when they watch Assassination Classroom, personally don't really look at some of these hidden meanings, and thanks to some of the manga readers that let me know that this series was kind of like that, and after me actually witnessing some of these hidden meanings beyond the episode's actual just comedy or entertainment, it's stunning to see how Assassination Classroom could pull something like this off. And it goes into more of those lines and meanings, as I said multiple episode reviews ago, of how this is very similar to Gintama, because even in the recent episode of Gintama, there was a reference to Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei was actually in the episode. It just goes to show you that the mangakas of Assassination Classroom and Gintama realize that they're very similar when it comes to telling life lessons and true meaning beyond the comedy. And that's what this episode goes to show. Like, that's the deep moral and meaning of this. Just don't be overconfident and make sure to read your contracts. Now, getting into what this episode truly is about the plot and different things like that, it's setting up this arc or mini arc, or I don't even know how long this arc is going to be, where they're about to take a test to find out if they can go back to A-Class, get back to the regular school. And they are about to take a test, and as you can see, the people on the A-Class side are starting to write these different, clauses or tests and stuff. They're making it extremely hard. They're probably putting college-level questions on that test, and you would have to really be a bookworm or really study fucking hard to be able to understand some of those questions that they're probably adding into that test. And that's very obvious to tell because of the way the dude was writing the, the questions on the test. You also have it to where the principal's son is manipulating hit the principal. Like, he's trying to manipulate him to find out the secret of what he's hiding when it comes to the E-Class, for instance, Koro Sensei. And if he does, get that information, he can manipulate his father. Some good family right there, like, trying to break your family, break your father, break your son. That's kind of fucked up. That's just unbelievably fucked up. I'm not even gonna get into that, because that's just, yeah, what the fuck. So yeah, when it came to this episode of Assassination Classroom, loving the meaning, loving the series. It does something very great once again when it comes to the true aspect of what this series is about. Animation-wise of Assassination Classroom, good as always. I mean, I didn't notice much derps. I would have to really stare and look for some of these animation derps if I did see any in this episode, so that's how good the animation or clean and crisp it was. Music is good. We all know how Assassination Classroom music is. I shouldn't have to go into it. That's just, yeah, it complemented a lot of these scenes. Voice acting, on point as always. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.